now you change science into a religion now. You see?
Mm.
We want to be scientific about science and religious about religion.
Mm.
We don't want science to be a religion, and we don't want religion to be a science. Because if we start doing that, then black is white and white is black and yes is no and no is yes and up is down and wrong is right. If we start to do that. And so a lot of people now say I believe, but I thought this is a science, right? I thought this is a science. I thought there were facts. I thought there were numbers. I thought there were studies. I thought there was history and understanding and professorship involved in this. But when a doctor tells me I believe, then I'm worried, okay? Because I did. It's one thing to talk about, faith in God, which might or might not exist, depending upon your perspective. But it's crazy to talk about faith in a cup, right? So we have to be we have to be careful. The process of shedding, it's a scientific term. Shedding is when a virus mixes with your body and then comes out of your body. Everybody sheds, and now many people, depending upon which country you're in, 30 to 50% of people are now carriers who will shed new viruses. And everyone who didn't get it before will now get it.
I got 2 shots.
Why did you get 2 shots? The pressure, right? You got 2 shots because of pressure from the world, the government, the media, friends, colleagues, work, society, local government, whatever, right? Newspapers, magazines, television, whatever. Because in previous years people didn't, and so they did it because of. Most people do it because of pressure. And you put enough pressure on people, they'll do anything. And so we have to be, we have to be very careful about this. And time will tell. Maybe I am, like my logic is good, but in the situation there are many variables that might change within the situation.
We will see.
So I want everyone to be healthy, but to be healthy you have to make healthy choices and healthy decisions. A healthy body begins with a healthy mind. Scientists don't work with hope, they work with facts.
Yeah.
I mean, hope is natural for human beings. But hope and belief are not sciences. So we have to be very careful about steps we take and the processes involved. You know, it's the slow death
Mm-hmm.
that is the danger. Fast death is too obvious. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
when someone shoots the gun and somebody dies,
Mm-hmm.
it's clear to everybody. When somebody gets injected and they die 24 hours later, you know, I've got examples from the Third Reich during the Second World War. One of the reasons why it failed was that it was clear, it was obvious, it was overt
Mm-hmm.
and not covert. You know, from between 1945 and the year 2000,
Mm-hmm.
governments learned to do things under the radar. They learned to do things quietly. Yeah, they learned to do things quietly, without tanks and bombs and guns. You see, they realized that as frightening as tanks and guns and
Mm-hmm.
aircraft and bombs and loud noises are, it's not the most frightening thing. Because the power of marketing and
Mm-hmm.
selling is really the most frightening thing. The fact that you can persuade anybody of anything. The fact you can make anybody believe anything
Mm-hmm.
is the real power. The fact you can make a doctor believe taking an injection when you don't know what chemicals you're being injected with, that's powerful. Right? Imagine buying a car with a blindfold and not being able to see. Would you do that? No, you'd be fucking stupid to do that. Excuse my language,
Yeah.
right? Right, you'd be
Mm-hmm.
stupid. But it's the same with medicine, right? People will take medicine very blindly because, why? Because they believe. In which case, medicine is not a science, but a religion.
Mm-hmm.
Medicine is the new religion of the world. And if you look back throughout history,
Mm-hmm.
you will see the fall of every civilization, I say every, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
civilizations, when fact becomes belief. Right? It's like, oh, throw your babies into the volcano. You know, some ancient South American dystopia. Yeah. But that's what happened. They built their civilizations on science and they fell down based on religion. Yeah, because they went crazy, because they believed that everything was possible. And what do we see now? The worship of doctors and nurses and hospitals. Hospitals are the new churches. Hospitals are the new churches. The churches are closed, the hospitals are open. Hospitals are the new
So,
churches. Because before the salvation of life was given in church, now the salvation of life is given through medicine and medical procedures in hospitals. Yeah, medicine, our belief in the power of medicine has created a new religion for the world.
maybe.
Everybody wants the doctor to save them. Everybody wants the doctor to save them, right? And the doctor is powerful, but the doctor is not God.
Mm.
The
Yes,
doctor's
yes.
not more powerful than nature.
Yes, of course.
Right? The doctor can't turn back time. Yeah. And we live in a society and world, I've always said we live in a society and world where we're told everything is okay. It's just not true. It's not true that everything is okay. There have to be borders and limits on things. Just as words have definitions, a cup is not a ball, a spoon is not a fork, right? We need these understandings and limitations in life. Not everything is going to be good. It's not good. There's consequences, right? You if you spend your 20s going to parties, then your 30s are going to be a bit more difficult, maybe. So, um, so we we have to understand this transformation, that the uniforms, the nurse's uniform is now as worshipped as the habit that a nun would wear, or the cloak that a monk would wear, or a priest's uniform, or something like that. Yeah. And so we have to be careful that we don't worship the wrong gods. Thou shalt have no other god before me, right? So it's back to it's back to those very simple Christian values. In Britain, the laws, rules. I don't know if we have a government anymore. I mean, it's just a mess. But the rules changed, and the government introduced a Public Order Act, where the police now have the ability to act very forcefully and strongly. And I was just reading before our session that a British Christian pastor, who's a priest in church, was arrested. What was the date on this? Was arrested last week for preaching the Bible and saying that marriage should only be between a man and a woman. He was arrested for saying that. Yeah. Yep. Because some people didn't like it, and they said it was offensive. And first of all, to be honest, it doesn't matter if it's offensive. You're allowed to have an opinion, right?
Yes.
I just like if you want Satan to be your god, then you're allowed to have Satan as your god. I mean, it's called a free society. I don't think it's a good idea, but it's called a free society. Yeah, there are many things that are not good ideas, but people have the right to have an opinion about them and to partake in whatever they want to do, as long as they don't hurt anybody else. And now people are saying that this is no criminal activity to be normal and to do these things and to say these things. And it's just a misunderstanding or it's an unlearning, really. I mean, it's a step backwards.
Yes.
It's a step backwards to start to limit people's expression and to limit people's speech and communication and movement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
I think that in our country, our church opened.
but the problem is that they were closed. They were closed
Mm.
because the government said you have to close. Now, who does the priest serve? Who is your master? Yeah, if you are a priest, who is
Mm-hmm.
your master? Who is your master? Who do you work for? Right?
Mm.
God
Mm.
tells me to open or close my church.
Mm.
Government is not God.
Yes.
Government wants to be
Mm.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I want to be a great singer or something, right? But I know it's a bit silly or a bit crazy to want
Mm.
that. But government wants to be God,
Mm-hmm.
and and it's not.
Mm.
But if you give them the power of God, they will take it. Give people power, and they will take it. Power is it's like sugar. Right?
Super, yes.
Everybody wants a little bit more.
Mm.
Yep, everybody wants a little bit more. But the truth is that just between you and me, that sugar is cancer. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sugar
Mm-hmm.
is cancer.
We know.
Right, right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right. And so when government take that power,
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
they become the cancer because they have too much power.
Mm.
Because man or woman can't handle power. We can't even drive properly or make
Mm-hmm.
cups of tea or coffee or
Mm-hmm.
the fact that we can build buildings and bridges and
Mm.
rockets is pretty amazing,
Mm-hmm.
but we are far from perfect, and we still can't help everybody and feed everybody and educate everybody, and there's a lot of basics that we
Mm.
can't do for society and the world
Mm-hmm.
yet. And the the priest must be in service of God. The priest must be in service of God. And if your church is closed,
Mm.
what did God say? Close the church? I don't think so.
Mm. Mm.
So government likes to limit things, to put levels on things, to stop people.
Mm.
And the limits get ever more complicated. Oh, you can't do it on Monday. Becomes, oh, you can't do it on Monday and Tuesday. Oh, you can't do it on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Like one
Mm.
shot becomes two, two shots become three, three shots become four,
Mm.
right? It's it's inevitable because they don't have any other understanding, any other
Mm.
way to make things or to generate things. They just they consume. They use, they destroy things. They very rarely build things. And then they, you know, they live to support themselves, right? I mean, that is the problem. As a priest, you either serve God, or if you don't serve God, you serve yourself. Yeah, that's a basic principle that a priest has to come to terms with. If you are not serving God, who are you serving? You're serving yourself.
Okay.
Yes. And back to Jesus Christ. Put no others before me. Right? Not even yourself. Don't even put yourself before me. Yeah. And so we have a new religion. We have a medically established religion, which is very historical, because the medical cross has the serpent around it. Yeah, and that's thousands of years old. Yeah, that was. It's not used by Moses. It's not a symbol that was used by Moses. Perhaps it was. Perhaps it's probably older. It was probably even older than that. And so we have to be very careful not to mix up these different ideas. We have to be intelligent. These words: smart, intelligent, wise. I think wise is the right word. We have to be wise. We need wisdom. We need to think carefully about the options and choices we make, and we all make the same mistake of not waiting. We all make the same mistake of not waiting. We all want. We're such a now culture that we live in, where we want. Yes, we have to get the vaccine now, because later we'll be too late and never. Now. Or what?
Quickly.
Yeah. Yes. My goodness. Yes. This. We have to get it. What did President Trump say? Warp speed. We need the warp speed vaccination. We need to get it out to people as quickly as possible. It's a great word, quickly. You know, we need to get it quickly to people, and to as many. Really, is medicine, is healthcare about speed? Not really. I mean, real healthcare is preventative healthcare. It's not really about speed. Speed matters when you have an accident, right? You want the ambulance to come quickly and pick you up and take you to the hospital. I mean, it's, you know, this, all the money spent. You could build schools, you could build health clinics, you could buy new ambulances, right? You could invest in nutritional supplementation for everybody. You could give everybody more vitamin C and D and K and B12 and all those things, which are natural.
Natural, yes.
Which are natural and will build up natural strength in people. Drugs lead to drugs. What? drugs lead to more. This drug leads to this drug,
Mm-hmm.
leads to this drug, leads to
Mm-hmm.
this drug. Just like this operation leads to this operation, leads to this operation,
Mm-hmm.
leads to this operation. Yeah. Drugs lead to drugs, operations lead to operations. It's it's the way it's the way of the world. We have to be very cautious and careful and understand that we can progress, we can go forward, but let's not go in one direction.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe let's go in a couple of different
Mm-hmm.
directions and
Mm-hmm.
see what the different results are, and maybe trust people. The government doesn't trust the people, but the government is the people.
Mm-hmm.
So the government doesn't trust itself. That's no way to run and rule society. It's a very crazy way to organize things. And then who will you trust? Where? When? You must always do what you're told. That's a dangerous road to go down. It just leads to conflict. Here's what's going to happen in the future. There will be vaccinated people and unvaccinated people. The vaccinated will say the problem is the unvaccinated. The unvaccinated will say the problem is the vaccinated. There's no solution because there's no education about the fact that both paths have advantages and risks. And at this moment in time, we don't know.
We don't know yet.
Here, take these experimental drugs. What are you, crazy? Right. You know. You go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, we have these new pills, but they've never been tested and it's a big experiment. You go like, no, but you can have this injection in your arm, which is the same thing.
Yeah, I understand.
And so we have to be careful about it.
It's difficult decision for many people.
Well, yes and no, because if you have fear, it will be difficult for you. Because what is wrong? What is wrong with saying we will create a vaccination? Those who want to be vaccinated will be vaccinated. It might provide some level of safety. Those who don't want to be vaccinated don't have to be vaccinated. They can take the risk. It's a risk either way. You can get vaccinated and die. You can be unvaccinated and die. It's a risk. Life is a risk either way. Yeah. So there is not a. There's not a. I think there's not a problem with that in a healthy society. To say that there's more than like you can. There's more than one religion, right? There's more than one type of education. There's more than one type of food that you can buy, right? I mean, life has all of these varieties of different, there's more than one holiday destination, there's more than one type of car you can buy, there's selection everywhere. And we need the same freedom in terms of selection with health, because everything goes bad after a period of time. I had some bananas in my kitchen, and I looked at them today, and they were black, and I was like, that's not good. And I thought, well, maybe it's okay inside. And I tried to sort of open the banana, and it just kind of fell apart in my hand. I was like, oh, okay, not good. Put it in the bin, right? Right. So everything good in terms of objects and things that we make over time becomes bad. And we have to understand that's a natural process, and that will happen with structures that we create in society as well. Maybe at the beginning the health service will be good, but after time, maybe it won't be so good. Maybe it will be like that banana in the kitchen if we don't use it and take care of it. And it's not an automatic process. It requires a lot of work and a lot of effort to do that. And there's a lot of people not working on their thinking about what is the right thing. What is the right thing to do? They're not thinking carefully enough. And we are all guilty of it, right? Because we're all human, right? It's like the Christians say, we're all sinners, we're all bad. It's like, yeah, we're all human. Okay, we all make mistakes. Yes. We all have strange priorities. You know, it's like, maybe you will, here's a thought, right? Oh, you get older and you want to keep a good natural color to your hair. And so you say, oh, I got this color or this color. You spend more time, no, not just you, but as people in general, spend more time thinking about what color their hair is going to be than thinking about what's in the shot.
I understand.
Because it's easier. It's hard to ask the hard questions. It's hard to ask the hard questions. I watched a film about the life of Jesus, and there was part of the film was a meeting between Jesus and Nicodemus. Nicodemus was a priest. He was a Jewish priest. He was like that, the high priest in the church. And he was one of the priests who believed that Jesus was the Son of God. Because like many of the priests did not believe that. But he was one of the priests who believed that Jesus was the Son of God. And Jesus, okay, so it's just a film, but the film makes you think, and that's what's important. A good film will make you think about something. And so they meet and they talk. And Jesus asks, he says, tell me, Nicodemus, how is the faith in the temple? How is the belief in the power of God amongst the priests, the rabbi in the synagogue? And Nicodemus laughs. It's like, you know, it's like, And Jesus is like, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Not even the priests believe. Those who should be the closest to God, not even they have the faith that is
Mhm.
required. And that's how we are as people most of the time. What we the faith and belief that we should have, we we don't. We need to work on ourselves constantly to be better. And we have left these we have we've left everything to professionals, and it's such a mistake.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong, some professionals are very good at their job. Some, but not all.
Mhm.
The priest will get you to God, but the priest locked the church. All the priests lock the churches.
Mhm.
Huh. Is it then not a church? What is it?
Mhm.
It's not really a church then, is it?
Mhm.
What is a church with a closed door? Tell me, what is a church with a
Mhm.
closed door? It's no longer a church, is it?
Mhm. Yes.
It's no longer a church. And so this is our part of our problem is we leave things to other people and we think that they will make sure that everything is okay, and
Mhm.
they don't. We always have to do everything ourselves, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
We always have to do everything ourselves at the end of the day, because we know what everything is like. We know what we are like. Yeah.
Mhm.
I trust myself, but I like it when other people check. I like it. I
Sure.
like it.
Yes. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. I actually like it because it's important. I like it when people say, are things still okay? Or whatever. I like it when people check up on things. It matters. It really matters. Um, and